Welcome back to the Nitty Gritty. We're your hosts. My name is Allicea.
And I'm Ash. And as we know, last weekend was the Monaco Grand Prix. You either love it or you hate it. I actually didn't mind this race. I feel like it was kind of eventful because it was a wet race.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the pop culture aspect, how do we feel? Like, I feel like there weren't that many celebrities there.
As you can all see, I'm currently in Monaco right now.
Yeah.
The biggest celebrity there. Just kidding. If you guys ever see me in Monaco though, make sure I'm paying my taxes. If I'm in
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue. I was going to say, but continue.
If you ever catch me at the Monaco Grand Prix, I'm either extremely rich, probably not paying my taxes, so make sure I'm paying my taxes. Probably in a relationship with someone very rich that I probably don't really love. So maybe keep me in check for that. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
Or maybe you got invited based on your own success. You know what? Never judge a book by its cover. Maybe don't be misogynistic.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't be misogynistic towards Allicea, okay? Maybe they worked their way there.
Yeah, and pay your taxes. Don't be misogynistic and pay your taxes.
That we should make a shirt that says that.
There you go.
Don't be misogynistic and pay your taxes. As you can see, today I'm representing Britain for some reason.
England is my city.
England is my city indeed.
But yeah, it wasn't
random. Sorry, I'm like on the. I researched Monaco so hard this weekend because I was like, how does it work? Like, how does it actually? I'm like genuinely curious. Like, why can you evade your taxes there?
Oh.
And I did so much research on what kind of government it is. It's a constitutional monarchy, just like Canada. Not that you guys care. But it's crazy. I was like, how does the city not the city, oh my gosh, please don't cancel me. How does the country make enough money to keep it so clean? And apparently they make all their money from gambling and tobacco. Bro, I don't know why I'm stupid. I didn't know that. I had an American moment for not knowing that.
It's because all the rich romance movies and rom-coms that always take place in Monaco, you see it, they explain it kind of in those. What? That Selena Gomez movie where they go to Monte Carlo?
No, that movie was my entire personality.
I have the DVD that we put onto the car.
Stop, because the Monte Carlo to F1 fan pipeline is so real.
It's so real.
It's so real. I always wanted to go to Monte Carlo so bad. And growing up, I always thought it was in France. So please don't kill me, Charles, because I know you hate being associated with the French. But I found out it's in Monaco a few years ago. So that's great. Speaking of Monaco, my roommate and my best friend went to Monaco last Tuesday before the Grand Prix, the Tuesday before the Grand Prix and the Sunday before the Grand Prix. She went twice because apparently it's only €8 or something, really cheap, $20 here. I don't know, maybe not €8, but really cheap. And she lost her phone because this is so off topic. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling, but it'll be on topic in a second. She basically lost her phone in Italy, I think, when she was hiking and she dropped it in the river or whatever. And then she didn't meet anyone, but she's in Monaco and she was like, oh my gosh, it was so crazy. And she was like, I started freaking out and I was with my friends and I'm freaking out. And my friends are like, why are you freaking out? And they're like, bro, that's literally Ollie Behrman. It's Ollie Behrman. And her friends did not know who it was, obviously, because they're not F1, F2, Formula, whatever, motorsport fans. And I was like, did you get a picture? And she was like, no, he seemed kind of mad. Oh. And then I was like, did you see any other driver? And she's like, no, I heard there was a race that weekend. I'm like, but it got canceled. You literally could have met them.
Wow.
Anyways, she said that she was by a marina and she saw this boat and it was at this yacht and it was actually the size of 10 airplanes. And she was like, I actually could not comprehend the wealth. And
yeah. Take a look at the yachts.
That actually made me think, I don't think I comprehend how rich the drivers are. Can you comprehend how rich the drivers are?
I always see the edits of them in their, in their fancy cars. It's mainly the Ferrari boys I see driving their Ferraris, and I'm always like, damn, Jesus Christ. But it's also whenever it's Monaco time and you see the people there and then the lifestyle and the documentaries, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. People watching the race from their yachts or just I don't know. Rich people I can't comprehend in my mind.
Bro, my roommate also told me that she found out that, I don't know if this is true, so maybe false information, search it, But you have to like show how much money you have in your bank account before you can like live there. I think it has to be like 5 million euros or something.
To live in Monaco?
Yeah.
They said for the rich only. They said, oh wow.
It's like exclusive.
Wow. Sorry, everybody. That was my bank account telling me I'm poor.
I actually can't like
Before you enter the country, they don't care about your passport. No, they said, show me your numbers, show me your bank account.
I've heard of this stuff before though, because like apparently you can get like, is it Macedonia? I think is that the country that's on top of Greece? That's Macedonia,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Okay. And apparently you have to like you can like buy your citizenship to there. Like if you have enough money, you can literally buy a citizenship to the country.
I'm like just like thinking about wealth again and like how like rich these people are. Like it's like I feel like rich isn't even the word to like describe.
It's just wealthy. Like it's actually
just,
crazy. Anyways, it's kind of getting off topic. This is us having a literal mental breakdown over how rich the
No,
drivers
because
are.
now I'm thinking about it because like you're bringing up that 10 airplane yacht and like the fact that you have to
show your income to like get into the country. But also as much as like they don't like being associated with France, my roommate said like you literally like don't have to show your passport to get on the train to Monaco.
Oh.
I guess like France and Monaco probably have like that like relationship of trust. But I also learned that they speak a different dialect of French in Monaco because it's based off an ancient language that like Monegasque people used to speak. Anyways, I really
y'all remember that episode where we're not geographers or like what was that?
We
didn't study geography.
We're not media like we don't know the weather. We didn't know if it rained in Monaco. I actually didn't even know it rained in Monaco. Did you know it rained in Monaco? I don't know why I thought
study geography or whatever biology, whatever weather is.
I don't mediography. What
is it? We should stop before we embarrass.
I don't know what it is.
Right. This is us still not knowing things about Monaco. Look how far we've come from that episode.
Hey, I did my research a little bit.
There you go.
I was also I'm not gonna say that. Ever since I found out my mom sends my like podcast episodes, like these podcast episodes, she sends it to like my family members. Like she literally like WhatsApp chainmail messages it to all of her friends. She's like, I want you to get more subscribers. Like that's sweet.
My dad asked me what our podcast name was in the car like yesterday, and I refused to give it to him, and I think he was getting upset that I refused to give it to him. She's like, why don't you want me to see your stuff? Like, I want to see what you're doing. I'm like, not for you. No, pour vous, senor. Please.
How many languages did you just speak?
I was getting freaking out.
No, pour vous.
Senor. Your family can watch it fine because I don't know them, but like my family can't.
Bro, no, like my mom sent it to like my great aunt who's like for some reason like fluent in English, and she watched the entire episode. And then she called me.
India's watching our podcast.
And then she called me to be like, oh my gosh, you guys are so well spoken, to like gas us up. I was like, I cannot believe you watched this entire episode. Like I was like actually like anyways.
I want you to record her saying that we're well spoken, and then we edit a video of me mispronouncing words and spitting every 2 minutes when I talk. That's what we should have.
Hey, I think she was just being nice.
She was like, yeah. Oh shucks. Wow.
Anyways, that was just us being crazy. You know what else? Like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm having a lot of like thoughts right now. This is such a like. Sometimes I think I need to go get myself checked out for ADHD, but it's fine. I have like actually 1,000 thoughts like racing through my brain right now, and I need all of them to just come out right now.
What's that therapy company that all the YouTubers get sponsored by?
BetterHelp.
BetterHelp sponsor us.
Oh my gosh, BetterHelp sponsor us. You're so real for that. That's so true. I think we're like a perfect audience for that too. If you're a Ferrari,
looking into the camera and saying that.
If you're a Ferrari fan, seek help through BetterHelp. I'm sorry, this isn't an ad.
But it could be.
You know what else I found out?
Wait, what was the thought you had previously?
These are the thoughts I'm having. These are all my thoughts right now.
Okay.
Kika and I, like Pierre's girlfriend, like Kika, we're actually 2 days apart. Like actually 2 days, because we're born in the same year. Like exactly 2 days apart.
You've mentioned this before, but then
Have
you
I?
and Pierre, you have, and then I remember you have.
I'm sorry. I don't
No,
remember.
no. You've mentioned this, but also I think it's funny because you and Kika are 2 days apart, but also you and Pierre have a lot of your astrological signs like matching. So then I'm like, what is he like? He's attracted to what? What's Kika's chart? Pull up Kika's chart right now.
Well, Kika's an Aquarius, obviously, because she's born on January 24th. But like, I don't know the rest of her chart. You want me to actually pull it up right now?
Maybe.
Okay,
maybe.
Wait.
Where's Mac? Call Mac.
Pause the segment. I will find it right now.
I just think it's funny because you mentioned this before, but I think it's funny because like
we're like, oh my god, you and Pierre are like alike. We ship it. But then Kika, like not Kika, Pierre's also going with someone else who's like also like to him because of his chart, because they're both Aquarius and you're an Aquarius. In conclusion, God bless the Aquarius. Not all Aquarius, some Aquarius, specific Aquarii. I don't know.
Because we're so crazy, I'm literally gonna put her birthday into my birth chart app just for this episode.
Oh my god, yes. Don't the drivers mainly go for girlies in Portugal anyway?
There's this whole theory that like this one modeling agency has like a contract with F1 because like literally every driver's girlfriend models for that company.
Oh.
But I'm not gonna get into that because like I don't hate women like that. I think people just say that because they're jealous that they're dating the drivers. Yeah, like I don't think there's like, I'm sorry, like you actually think it's a contract. I think like these men just have a type and you just like don't want to have to like acknowledge that. Anyway,
I mean, I would date every single one of their girlfriends. I think all their girlfriends are beautiful women, but also have a really interesting background. I love you, Carmen.
Oh my gosh, Carmen is literally my wife.
Carmen and Lily start a podcast, and I'll be your biggest fan. No, Alex and Lily. If Alex and Lily start a podcast, I think I'd be happy to be alive.
The time has finally come. I have finally found Kika's birth chart. And her birth chart is...
Drumroll is...
She is a Aquarius Sun, Libra Moon. And we don't know her rising because we don't know her birth time. And she has...
let us know in the comments.
So oh my gosh, I forgot that we low-key have a similar birth chart because we're born 2 days apart.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying. Oh
my gosh, I'm there. I'm on the same page as you now because I was like, what do you mean? Because I'm having so many thoughts right now.
Sitting you now after it's been like 10 minutes.
I'm sorry. I'm like really slow.
No, I just like watching it happen live to you because your reactions are like,
oh my gosh.
It's like the knowledge is now hitting you.
The first half of Pierre's birth chart is the same as mine, and the second half of Kika's birth chart is the same as mine.
In conclusion, you're their child. Mother.
That's like kind of true. So basically, I think Pierre and I have the same sun, moon, and Mercury, and Kika and I have the same Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Mercury.
Jesus Christ, we need Mac on this call right now. We need a professional astrologist, Mac, the nitty-gritty astrologer Mac, to get on here.
She's currently in the countryside of northern Italy at her grandfather's like farm.
Oh my god.
And she lost her phone. There's no way for me to contact her. So
wow.
I cannot believe you drew that conclusion very well. I am like mind boggled, mind blown, like holy crap.
And I know nothing about astrology besides what I've learned from her and Mac. So.
You're also just such a quick learner because I remember like when we were filming that episode, you like picked up stuff so fast. You're like, oh yeah, so he has a stellium, and I was like, why do you know that? Like, why do you know? You're doing too well. It's like not allowed.
Now I need to study all three of you, not just you and Pierre. Oh my goodness.
We need to do a whole episode on this conclusion that we've drawn.
Yeah.
And it's literally just going to be us deep diving into, you know what? It's kind of unfair that I have similar birth charts to the two most beautiful specimens on this earth. And I look nothing like them. And I can't speak French. It's like so rude.
They should be lucky to be similar to the most beautiful person here. Act like that was a fluent sentence.
It was fluent in my brain. We see each other. I speak your language.
Each other. Which is not French.
I may not be able to speak French, but I speak Alicia's language. And I think that's a flex.
And that is a flex. It's a skill on our resume.
This episode is actually like on crack for some reason.
The way we haven't even talked about the race yet.
I think it's because I had a large bubble tea today. I literally think I have a sugar high. I feel like I'm a child on a sugar high right now. Anyways, let's try to get a little bit more on topic.
Right. So the celebrities. We didn't
The
even get to talk
celebrities.
about that.
Oh my god.
That was our first topic. We were supposed to talk about the celebrities first. Haven't even talked about them yet.
Sorry, I had too many thoughts on my ADHD. Not my ADHD. We don't know if it's ADHD. I'm not going to self-diagnose.
Better help, please help.
Better help, please help. My whatever.
Comment down below.
Comment down below if you think I have ADHD. Sorry. What celebrities would you like to talk about?
Seeing Neymar and Tom Holland and like the Red Bull garage was like, I was like, what is happening here? Like, who is this? My brain was like, what is this? What is this crossover? The fact it was Red Bull, Tom Holland, and Neymar, and I was like,
you know what's crazy? They were both Red Bull's guests, and they both, like, in media, like, mentioned that they're Lewis fans.
Well, so did Christian Horner's kids. So in conclusion, everyone is a Lewis fan.
Oh my gosh. Tom literally brought his, like, entire fucking family.
I think I love when Tom's like with his brothers all the time. Like he brings his brothers with him everywhere. And I'm like, as you should.
Oh, his brothers are okay. One of his brothers is like film stuff. Like I think he does PR for all of Tom's movies. Like he films like all the videos. I think that one's Harry. Harry and Sam are twins, and Sam like cooks, like full chef. It was on my For You page.
The whole thing is that I think when they were filming Spider-Man, they offered to get Tom Holland a personal chef, but Tom's like, yeah, sure, as long as I get to pick who the chef is. And of course, Tom picked his brother, so now his brother just cooks food for him all the time. And I'm like, that's so
smart. You just hired your brothers to be your like, oh. And he also brought Harrison. I don't know if you know who Harrison is. Harrison used to be Tom's personal assistant, and now he's like not. Anyways, sorry, really taking a deep dive on Tom Holland. Him being there actually like altered my brain chemistry.
I loved his little green shirt. Sorry, the little green shirt. Loved it.
He looked great.
Looked great.
He also waved that flag so well.
The jump scare I had, because like the race ended and then it's like, well, it was ending as he waved the flag. And it's like cut to Tom Holland. I didn't know Tom Holland was doing the checkered flags. When I saw him, I was like, Tom. Hey, he did so well.
And he was waving that like, I was like, Tim Cook could never. Do you remember Tim Cook waving the flag? And he was like limp wrist, like,
yeah.
What are you doing? He did not
look like he wanted to be there.
I don't think he did. He's just there.
Yeah, I saw Chris Rock talking with like Toto Wolff, and I was like, okay.
I literally didn't see any of these celebrities. All I know is that Tom was there.
Orlando Bloom was there. If I ever saw Orlando Bloom anywhere, I would probably turn to dust. I would like turn to dust and die. Like if I ever saw Orlando Bloom, I would die. So let alone an F1 race. The guy from Enchanted that plays the Prince Charming, like James
Oh my gosh. The guy from Confessions of a Shopaholic?
Yes, he was there. Now you know him from that, and I'm like enchanted.
No, that movie changed my life. That man is so scrumptious. Anyways, I don't want to get too thirsty on the podcast right now.
Act like we are. Wait until the fan fiction episode comes out.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna come out before this, but that was actually ill of us.
David Harbour was there.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He was was he in the Red Bull garage? Why did Red Bull have every celebrity there?
Red Bull just has the money.
For the catering too. I know a joke's getting old. Sorry, I'll stop. I'm gonna get hated on by all of the fanboys.
I mean,
you know who else was there? I don't think a lot of people know who Madeline Argy is. She's a TikToker, which should give her a bad rep, but love that woman. She's also dating Central C. Not that defines her. So I was like, oh, like, I haven't seen them together in a while. Then the day after, picture them at dinner came out. And then today, just now, before this episode, I was scrolling through my Instagram and she posted like a Monaco dump. And Central C was there. Central C was
at the race?
Yeah. Central C was the Grand Prix.
We're pulling it up. What's her handle again?
Literally, like...
What is he wearing?
I don't know.
What is this? Oh, I mean, cover that head. Oh, he has a camera in his hand. Very nice.
My roommates have this like absurd obsession with this man, and I kind of like was in on it for a while because like I kind of get it, but yeah.
I mean, Ash told me he was Guyanese, so by default, I guess I have to support him.
He's like 1/4 Guyanese. He just looks so ambiguous. I don't know what he actually is.
He does look ambiguous.
You know who else was there?
Who?
Charles and Noah Schnapp. Charles and Noah Schnapp.
Noah Schnapp was there?
He wasn't at the race, but this party, like after the race, Noah Schnapp and Charles were taking a picture together, and I was like, this is crazy.
It's so crazy when I see drivers and then like pop culture figures that like aren't the drivers like merge in my mind, because I'm like, what is this? These are two separate worlds in my head. Jesus, no. I
and
would
that's
love
like literally all of the lookalikes were there.
all the lookalikes, all
Like-
the copy paste. Oh my
Like
goodness.
Tom Holland, Lando copy paste. No,
Oh my
Charles
goodness.
copy paste. Like
the picture that McLaren posted of the two of them together, I was like, I do agree, I do see it. Like I do. And they posted the Spider-Man pointing meme, and I'm like, I see it. I see it.
Tom waving the flag, like, get back in the car.
Get
what are
back
you
in the
doing out
car.
here?
I know.
Like, Lando, what are you doing up here?
Ariana, what are you doing here?
Okay, also before this, I was just like watching a little recap of the race
Mhm.
because wanted to refresh. And I got an ad, and it was like the craziest ad I've ever seen. It actually like made my jaw drop. I like actually clapped for them because I was like, this is a good ad. And it was like, all right, you're a car company, but you won't win F1 in a hybrid. What will they say next? And after they said you won't win F1 in a hybrid, they cut to the Red Bull, and it was a Honda ad. I was like, you guys ate that. Like that's such a good idea. Like you won't win
Oh my
F1 in a hybrid.
goodness.
Like hell yeah, they will.
Look at Max. Skirt,
Stop.
skirt. Look at the king.
That's like so random, but like I actually was like jaw on the floor. Like that is such a good idea, such a good ad. Like I think whoever came up with that deserves a raise. And I hope Honda sees this and I hope Honda sees this and sponsors us, because I'm a huge fan of that. That was great. Maybe you can sponsor us, then we can get on an Aston Martin because of the contract in 2026 and like all.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I don't know if we want to bring up this next part, but you know,
You can bring it up. You can bring it up. I know what you're talking
Okay.
about.
Apparently, Charlotte was there along with Charles's new girlfriend, whose name I currently cannot remember.
It's
apologies.
Alex.
Alex, my apologies, sister. My apologies. I only just discovered your existence a few days ago. But both of them, because they both run in the same friend group. Like they're in the same circle, aren't they?
I have no clue. I don't know if they are. I know Charles's other ex was.
Well, they were both in the paddock, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, what is Charlotte doing in the paddock? Like, why is she there?" And I'm like, "Cause it's Monaco. Why else would she not be there? It's a race. Isn't she from Monaco? Does she live in Monaco?
She literally is from Monaco and goes to university in Monaco.
Like everyone's like in the comments of the videos, I saw they were all like coming for her, being like, "Oh my god, why is she there when she like knows Charles would look like a new girl?" I'm like, because believe it or not, she's gonna enjoy the race.
Believe it or not, a woman is not only interested in sports because her boyfriend played it. Like played it. I guess he drove in it, whatever.
I was like soccer in my mind. Thinking about the soccer match.
But like I don't know. She also has a contract with Ferrari Style, I'm pretty sure. Like from when she was dating Charles, like Ferrari still like backs her and stuff like that. Like
but it's also like she's an influencer. She can afford to go to the Grand Prix if she wanted to like buy her own ticket. She lives in Monaco. She studies in Monaco. Like, yeah, she's gonna go to the event in Monaco. That I'm sure like
was there hanging with Elena, like Esteban's girlfriend. Like she has friends. Like she's friends with people in the paddock. So like she obviously like I think people need to get a life and like stop bothering this poor girl.
Right. It was like I was not expecting that when I went into the comments. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like please relax yourself. Like
if Charles can move on, so can you. Like
yeah.
Please.
Does it look like it's bothering him? It doesn't look like it. So
oh my gosh. All I have to say about Alex is that she has like actually exquisite posture. She's like girl, every time I see a picture of her, I'm like straight up. Like
I'm always like hunched over scrolling on Instagram. I'm like, Jesus Christ, my bad girl. Salute to you. Like my praise. Shall we move on to the actual race into free practice now?
Sure. You know what? It's like fine. I guess we can talk about the race.
I'm like, I guess we can talk about like the actual race and
like what our podcast is like actually supposed to be about.
Yeah. Before the broskies come at us for not talking about the cars. So my notes for free practice 1 was that, you know, Carlos said speed. He said you want to see some real speed. Yuki also said you want to see some real speed because he was 13th. ahead of both Pierre and George, and I was like, okay, Yuki, okay, Mr. Chef, speed. Nico collided with the wall at turn 13, and I was like, Gene, what the heck is happening? And then there was the brief red flag from that, and then Alex also crashed in the barrier at turn 1.
Yeah, I kind of like,
Yeah.
that's all my notes. Like Alex crashed, Nico red flag, Carlos topped the session, which is like kind of crazy.
He
Also,
said speed.
the top 3 was literally like Carlos, Alonso, and Lewis. Like, where are the Red Bulls?
Max
This
question
has
mark
never been
King?
seen before. Never been seen before.
Right?
I have to just say that because I'm in a different time zone, free practice 1 was actually at 4:30 in the morning. And I was like, I'm not gonna watch free practice 1 because like I don't want to like wake up that early. I'll watch free practice 2. Bro, tell me why automatically at 4:30 my body's like F1 time. She literally arose, no alarm, at 4:30 a.m. and I was like, well, I guess I gotta watch it now because I'm awake.
Muscle memory.
My brain was like, wake up, it's time to F1. And after that, I kind of fell asleep, but I had a dream. And here's why you should never watch like F1 like in bed while you're like half asleep and falling asleep during like practice or something, because I could not remember for the life of me like what was real and what was fake. I'm like, did Alex actually crash or did I dream that?
Because you know figment of my imagination.
Because you want to know what my dream was?
You mentioned that you had a dream, but you didn't tell me what it was specifically, so I'm ready.
My dream was that during free practice.
Oh my gosh, she's like crying.
Pierre crashed into Alonso and drove over his car, like over the halo at turn 12 by like the marina. And he literally like flew over Alonso and into the marina, like into the water. And he came out of the ocean like Baywatch style.
I like how at first I was like, oh my god, this is really concerning. And then it just turns to like a spicy little dream after that. Your personal fantasy leaking in. Your subconscious giving you what you wanted to see.
It's like overalls like tied at the waist, shirtless, like coming out of the water. I was like, and like flipping the hair. I'm like, is this like, I actually thought it was real. I'm not joking, Allicea. I woke up and I was like, I actually have to like check if Pierre crashed into Alonso when like came out of the ocean.
It's like, you remember that cameraman that got that side jawline view of like Charles drinking the water bottle? I feel like the F1 cameraman would know to go get a shot like Pierre walking out of the water like that.
I have been holding that in because I actually was like baffled, bamboozled, like jaw dropped that I had a dream about that.
I love how it's like literal like fear of like Pierre driving over Alonso because of Pierre walking out being like the Moto Moto song from Madagascar playing in the background.
Anyways, I promise I'm not actually like having dreams and fantasizing like this. It's just something that happened because I was watching the
after
race.
Reading the fan fiction episode.
This was before that.
Oh,
this was that morning.
Oh, Jesus.
It was like I showed up to film that like a fan fiction episode like fully, like I cannot believe that happened.
Jesus.
Anyways, going to free practice 2 while I was believing that Pierre came out of the Ocean Baywatch style.
The only thing I have down is that Carlos no longer said speed and slid into the barriers at turn 15, bringing out the red flags once again. And that's all I have written down.
Alex couldn't start earlier because his car was like really damaged from pre-practice 1. Like, yeah, obviously, but he started the session late, but it's okay. All is well. They had to switch out like half the parts in the car, but all is well. There was this one moment where George overtook Alonso, but he was like off the track at like La Piscine. Is that how you say it? Like, as how you say it, whatever.
That piscine that means pool, right?
Yeah, it means swimming pool because it's a swimming pool there. Yeah. Actually, I learned it's called a swimming pool because it wasn't like that before, but they built that swimming pool in Monaco, so they had to change the circuit like corner to like allocate for the room that was no longer there. So I named it the Piscine because there's a pool there now. Anyways, fun fact.
Anyway,
but he overtook Alonso like off the track where everyone was like, going off there, and Alonso was like on the radio like, oh, like George overtook me off the track. Are we allowed to overtake people off the track? And his engineer was like, as you may know, no, that is not allowed. And I was like, you guys are like, Alonso is like unhinged.
He's so unhinged recently, and I love that.
Especially during free practice. I still can't get over his Alpine comment. Like, this is when Alpines compete, like, during free practice.
That we were in sync on that side.
Yeah. Free practice 3, like, I didn't watch.
2 points. Magnussen didn't have any power, and that like brought out a virtual safety car. Lewis Bestie also brought out red flags after crashing into the barriers at the exit of turn 5. And that's all I really have written down in my brain and on my notes. And that's kind of it.
Ocon's car, I can't believe it just stopped in the middle of the tunnel. I'm sorry, that's so scary.
Yeah, it's what was that race where wasn't it on the Monaco race in this similar tunnel where they came out and like didn't see each other? What am I thinking of, guys? Comment down below what specific crash I'm thinking
Are you
of.
thinking about
Monaco.
Qualifying? Yes.
Checo crashed out of Q1.
Something about Checo crashing out in Monaco qualifying. Did you hear Max's unhinged comment? I don't think this is after qualifying. I think this is like this weekend. But Max was talking about how like they were asking Max about how he wanted to like maximize his like qualifying.
Maximize
his qualifying because of what happened last year. Like based like, you know, he's like, oh, like remember like last year, like your first run, like whatever, like you couldn't go for a second one, whatever, blah blah blah. How you like maximizing that. And he was like, oh, like obviously like trying to go out for a run earlier, like crashes happen in qualifying and usually they're not on purpose. I cannot believe he said that. Bro, I will find the video for you. I cannot believe he said that.
Ew. Something they're chatty around Monaco, eh? Like they all got something to say when Monaco comes.
Oh my gosh, you have to be on F1 Twitter. F1 Twitter is like actually the most unhinged thing ever. That is where you find all of the tea.
All the tea. Do you have anything else for Q1?
I actually have nothing. That's literally all I was thinking about was Checo's crash.
All I have written down for Q2 is that Lando smooched the barriers. He said, mwah.
He just wanted to give it a nice little kiss.
A little smoochity doochity. Q3, I have Yuki sped speed once again and was a 9th. And I was like, slay.
You know what I cannot comprehend? That the McLaren engineers had Lando's car ready to go into Q3 after he crashed in Q2. I was like, y'all said speed. Y'all said speed.
You want to see some real speed? There you go. They said speed.
Oh my gosh. I think Q3 was the most, like, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time.
That was like a fight for pole. I was like, honestly, I'm very, like, this is the race. Q3 is the race. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, it was, everyone was pushing hard for that pole position. It was crazy.
And that's on Track Evolution. That was crazy. The pole was literally like Max, and then it was like, oh my gosh, Ocon on pole, and then it was, oh my gosh, Alonso on pole, oh my gosh, Charles on pole again, and then
what are they, strippers?
It just they were all on that pole in Monaco. But it ended up being a Max pole. I was a little disappointed because I would love to see an Alonso pole.
The day,
but I could not fathom how Max did that.
King behavior.
Because I don't know how many tenths or something he found in sector 3. I literally probably should have wrote this down, whatever. But he was like kissing them walls. Like he like actually was like hitting the walls like in this like pole lap. And I was like, you are insane. Like you are insane. Like this is like, I actually sat down today and I had to reflect on how good of a driver Max is.
See?
Like you just can't dislike him. I'm sorry. If you dislike him, it's likely because he's just so fucking good. Like, I actually had to sit down and be like,
right.
I had to think about the stats and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, this man is like a living, breathing legend.
He is God.
I actually like, I don't think I like think about it enough because I'm like, whatever, it's just Max. But when I think about it, I'm like, holy. Anyways.
I mean, that's the world champion. That is the Max Verstappen.
Anyways,
I'm like, whenever I think about Red Bull, I'm like, Christian Horner. But then I'm like, Max, like team behavior. Whenever he slays, I'm like, King, like you do what you need to do, sire. Please let me know if you need anything. Like
Sire,
Sire.
what can I get you, Sire?
Sire
Anyways,
is
Sire is slaying.
like
Charles was P3, and I was like happy with that. I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be like a nice little Max Alonso Charles moment. And then
that's what I had predicted. But
and then Charles was investigated for impeding on Lando in the tunnel. And I was like, oh, look, this is so annoying. And you know what's so funny?
what?
Is that even the I read the FIA document because I'm crazy.
You pulled up the FIA. You said
I have it printed out.
I have the receipts, as Stono would say.
And basically, both of like Lando and Charles both agreed that it was neither driver's fault, but the FIA determined that it was the team's fault. That like they failed to communicate that like obviously like Charles doesn't know where like the other cars are gonna be. Like GPS is already so hard to track in Monaco. That just shows how incompetent Ferrari is. Like the one mistake that Charles made on track during qualifying was literally your fault.
I mean, we'll see more of the Ferrari mistakes during the race with the pits. But
let me cool down, take a deep breath before we get into this. I found out when I was watching this race from one of the graphics that a Ferrari has the fastest pit stop this season.
It didn't feel like it
from Saudi Arabia.
This
season.
I thought you meant this race. I'm like, no, it didn't.
from Saudi Arabia. That's when their fastest pit stop was.
Only success they've had. Just kidding, guys. I mean,
we're not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So, as the race began, first thing I have down, Nico Hulkenberg made contact, gave Logan Sargent a little bit of a smooch, which gave him a 5-second penalty.
Love that.
Yeah. Just as we started.
I'm glad the start was clean though. Like I was scared that into turn 1 it was going to be like absolute mayhem, but it wasn't. So
good job, guys. That was a terrible finger heart. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then George was noted for incorrect starting position, but it was just an Australia repeat. Apparently George did like the same thing that Max did in Australia, and he was on the grid box, so he wasn't ahead, so he did not get a penalty.
Yeah. We don't need to get canceled for that again, like you guys last time. Everybody.
Last time we got canceled on Twitter, and we haven't used Twitter ever since.
Traumatized because Twitter had to censorize some of your comments because you're being really rude.
Oh my gosh, Twitter literally filtered them because everyone was calling us the worst words in that probably aren't even in the dictionary. Anyways,
we love that.
Carlos.
That's lap 14. Carlos, homie ran off the chicane, and his front wing had made contact with SD Bestie, and we're like, whoa, what's happening here, everybody? What is going on? But they both kept driving. So
basically, like debris fell off of the front wing, and Charles and Lewis hit that debris, and I was like, oh. Incoming penalty.
Yeah.
They actually just gave him a black and white flag, which the commentators explained as being a yellow card. So basically it's like a warning, like do it again and you're done. So I don't know, like Alonso's literally in my brain rent free. I'm sorry. I'm being hateful because I'm not even a Carlos hater. Like
that's the thing. We're Ferrari fans, guys.
Like Jesus. I'm not a Carlos hater. I'm a Ferrari fan. I'm a fan of both drivers.
C2 stands.
I don't know. Like I think Carlos made some mistakes during this race, and he didn't really acknowledge that. Like, it's okay to make mistakes. It's costing you something, and it's costing the team something, but you kind of need to recognize that
to get better.
Anyways,
Anyways, the next thing I have down is lap 20 with them Ferrari engineers. They told Carlos to come in to overtake Esti Bessie. Even though he thought he was told to stay out. And then he was ordered, like that order was repeated again at like 6 laps later. And then Ferrari like once again told him to like stay out afterwards.
Literally
and I was like, why is
so
it the same mistake that like that keeps happening?
I was
is my whole thing.
confused. I thought it was like a code. I thought they'd be like, stay out to overtake Ocon or like pit to whatever they were saying. I
'Cause,
thought it
like,
was supposed to be like a code for something.
No, it's just stupidity is what it was. Sorry, not stupidity, but it was just like poor communication because like Carlos ended up boxing by lap 33 with like new mediums and like rejoined 7th behind Esteban, and like Carlos was frustrated with the strategy and he was like criticizing the team over the radio, and I'm like, classic Ferrari. It's like, why is it like the same thing? I'm confused. Am I missing something? Is that what it is? Because tell me if I am, but like
there was like a lot of theorizing that like Ferrari was trying to put Charles first this year to make up for what happened last year.
Is that really going well though for you? Tell me, Ferrari.
But Carlos is also angry because he was like, why did you pit me first? Like, I was going faster than Charles and all this. And that's kind of why he was angry also.
Right. A lot of emotions for Carlos this race.
Yeah. But it just, I don't understand Ferrari. Like, sometimes I feel like Ferrari's strategy is like I feel like I don't know much about strategy. I'm sorry. Like, I kind of understand to an extent like tire strategy and stuff like that, but when it comes to like doing the math of how many positions you're gonna drop when you like go into the pit and how long a pit stop, like how much time you lose and all this, like I would never say that I'd be good at that, but sometimes it feels like I'm the one coming up with strategy at Ferrari with my limited knowledge. Like, I feel like the people at Ferrari aren't even qualified because I would make that mistake. Like, I feel like we're the same level of intelligence because I'm stupid.
It's like, I just don't get, like, the whole thing is that they're like, oh no, we're gonna like rebuild this year and like it'll be better. I'm like, is it though? Because like, why does this just look like a repeat from last year? And like, where you need to be able to like pinpoint where the flaw is coming from, whether it's like who you have there or like the communication, like where, like we need to be able to like pinpoint that and work from there, because like, why does this keep happening? I would love to. I can't wait for the song to come from Charles. Carlos, maybe you should dabble in some music.
Think of that. Charles is about to drop a new mixtape,
a new banger.
Alonso reported a puncture.
Right.
And I was like, where is the puncture? I literally don't see one. But everything was fine. He was just not comfortable with something that was happening in the car and said it was fine. But I was scared for a minute. I was like, no, please don't say this.
On the topic of green, Lance Stroll reported some damage during like lap 38, maybe. After he made contact with Kevin. Lance didn't even end up finishing in the race either. So like heartbreak, tears.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay.
That's during the wet. Let's talk about the dry here. Also, I think the other thing I want to say was during lap 28, Max hit like a crazy traffic while he was lapping people, and I was like, bro, you're suffering from success. Like,
homie is suffering me too good.
He was like, I'm gonna lose a lot of time from this traffic, bro. Bro was literally lapping people, and it's like, it's gonna make me lose time because I gotta lap all these people.
He's like, oh, what are they doing here? And I'm like, racing Max. He's such a king behavior. Gosh, Max, slay, Max. High five. I'd love to put a crown on your head.
They need to like let Max like listen to music or something when he's in front of the grid. He's probably like so lonely up there.
Literally, Max, anything you want to watch, let me know. I'll give you my streaming passwords. I got Netflix. I got Disney Plus.
I think you can afford that. Hopefully.
I want to give him something. Let me gift you with something, Max. And it's my Netflix password that my father pays
You know
for.
what, Max? We will literally give you access to the nitty-gritty episodes early, just so you can listen to them during the Grand Prix. And you can
During the
recap the previous race while you're doing the race. Isn't that like such a good idea?
We are so smart. Max.
Email us to collab.
Email us.
Get your people to contact our people. And by our people, I mean the three of us.
The three of us. The three of us are the nitty gritty.
Okay, now
yeah.
it started raining.
Yes. It's raining, it's pouring. The old
man is snoring.
Let's see. I have Max had grazed the wall while on his little medium tires, but he saved the car from retirement. I'm like, okay, Max, save the vehicle.
When it started raining, okay, for context, I knew it was gonna rain because all over my Twitter, everyone was like screenshotting the forecast, like actually like the radar and everything, and they were like, it's coming like all these arrows. I was like, you guys are crazy. Valtteri and Lance like pitted like first for inters. Like they were like, it's raining, like we're going.
We're going.
Kind of think that was a smart move because I feel like the pit lane got like so busy the moment like the thought of like rain came out.
I'm always scared when there's a bit busy pit lane now because I'm like, y'all need to get your photographers in order, like your people in there in order, like everybody watch where they're going and look out and communicate because we will not have any other people almost getting hit by a vehicle in the pits, okay? Like, please.
Yeah.
Especially when it's raining. Like, Jesus
Especially
Christ.
when it's raining in Monaco. Like, raining in Monaco is like actually the hard setting on like
the hard set on the game. And Max still slayed. King behavior.
Everyone started pitting for inters, and a Ferrari, they brought Charles and Carlos in for a double stack.
They need to stop trying to do that.
Something.
Like, when have you ever done a successful double stack? Tell me.
Something about Ferrari and a double stack in Monaco. They're like, let's do a double stack in Monaco because we're just so good at that. I literally like was so scared because, oh my gosh, this actually was like the most anxiety-inducing moment ever. Because first of all, Charles and Carlos were literally like fighting for the position while coming into the pits. I'm like, you guys are so close together. Like, why are they doing a double stack? Like, you guys are literally like wheel to wheel right now, and they're bringing you in for a double stack. And I literally witnessed like Carlos literally stop and brake right behind Charles in the pit, like waiting for his turn for like a split second.
Like, what is this, a McDonald's
I was like in my
Christ. Like
in my brain, I was like, maybe I just imagined that because I was so stressed, and it was actually like barely anything. But in my brain, it's slow mode, and Carlos was just like standing there for a second, waiting for his turn, and I wanted to just disappear.
You're like, I want to evaporate into the rain. I feel like it's like Ferrari. At the end of every race, Ferrari loses recollection of like the race before and just goes into the new race again. And, like, does
it's like after each race, because they're just like so bad, they have to wipe each person's brain.
Like Men in Black.
It's okay. Like, you guys did a really bad job, but we're gonna do better next time because you're not gonna remember how bad we did last time.
Everyone's brain is being wiped but Charles. You can see it in his eyes.
Charles and Carlos are like suffering. Like, they get BetterHelp. I think BetterHelp and Ferrari would be a great
sponsor. BetterHelp, Ferrari, McDonald's.
McDonald's is so true because of their colors. Anyways,
Ferrari Happy Meal coming soon.
Ferrari Happy Meal with a BetterHelp subscription as the toy coming soon.
Catch me in line at McDonald's. Oh shucks.
So speaking of the Lance crash that you brought up,
yes,
first of all, that was bumper cars. Why was everyone literally like hitting the walls left, right, and center? Like, literally, like, oh, and how are these cars not crumbling? How are these cars just taking it? I was like so like, anyways, what also is just like everyone was like, oh, like Lance like literally was just like, I'm just gonna hit the walls for fun at this point. This could be our like episodic like Lance rant because I'm here to defend him.
Insert Lance rant graphic. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Oh, Canada in the background.
Oh my gosh, you're so smart. Why didn't I fucking put I'm changing this episode. You're so smart. I'm literally changing it to Oh Canada.
Or any other Canadian. Oh my god, but do like, you know the Oh Canada where it's like boo doo boop.
I think we'll get copyrighted.
Oh, never mind. Y'all Canadians know that fun one? That one. Imagine that. You were
But
saying
I was
bumper
saying
cars lands into the walls.
okay, so the first time he hit the wall, I was like, oh, well, and then he turns again, he was to turn, and he hits the wall again, and everyone's like, bro, like, needs to, like, he shouldn't be an F1 anymore. I'm here to defend him and say that he could not turn his tires because the front wing was, like, falling off. Like, I'm sorry, like, do I think that was kind of a mistake on his part? Yes. But he couldn't turn his wheel a second time because his wing was literally, like, you literally saw it fall off. Like, we all saw it happen. So can we just, like, give him a break, please?
The Lance defense is working hard today.
Yeah,
Ash is working.
I'm working.
Ash is this army right now.
I think Lance needs to hire me as his, like, PR team, because I will actually go to, like, the ends of the earth to defend this man. And actually for no reason. I just have chosen
anything.
I have just
Lance.
chosen that I'm just going to defend Lance for the rest of my life. That's simply, like, what I was put on this earth to do.
Aston Martin, why are we not at the Grand Prix yet? Why is Ash not there by Lance's side? Like, what is happening?
That's
He
the end of
works
this Lance
so
rant.
hard.
Oh, now that we're speaking of Lance, sorry, quickly. Lawrence was at the wedding. Apparently, Lawrence.
Don't tell me where though, because I looked at those pictures.
There
That
was-
man was nowhere inside.
There were pictures of Lawrence at the club with them afterwards, but
Okay,
basically,
that's the club, not the wedding.
but he wasn't. No, we didn't see the wedding. We saw Lance walking Chloe down the aisle in rehearsal, and apparently Lawrence couldn't make it to the rehearsal.
Okay, it doesn't mean I have to like him though. That's the
Just cutting that out.
Cut out.
But basically, we're here to clear the rumors. We're here to do the PR work for Aston Martin and let you guys know. You guys should literally hire us at this point. We're letting you know that
My
Lawrence
favorite
was
color
at
is green.
same. Lawrence was at his daughter's wedding. There's no beef,
Okay.
and all is well in the Stroll Empire. End of Lance rant.
End of Lance rant. God bless the Stroll Empire. L for the Stroll Empire. The Lance.
Lawrence, Loey.
Loey. Slay.
Anyway, sorry, that was like really off topic. Let's get back into the race.
No, that was important. We always love a good Lance rant. Because I personally was out here upset, but now we know he was there.
Kevin was the last one to pit for wet tires.
Kevin also ended up crashing without damage to his front wing.
Yeah.
I mean, he crashed out, but with damage to his front wing. Sorry.
He was literally, homie was on his way to the pits, and he was struggling so hard on those hard tires. He just needed those wet tires like so bad, and he literally crashed into the wall on his way to the pit.
And like they were obviously the mechanics were like, oh shucks, and they would have to like scramble. That's why his like pit stop was obviously like a little longer because they were preparing to change his tires. They were not preparing to fix the vehicle when he was coming by.
They gotta change that front wing, but all was well. They changed the front wing. They gave him some wet tires, and he was good to go. On his way.
Then Sargent hit the wall at the hairpin. Though he recovered his car. I'm like, okay, slay. Recover the vehicle.
Literally, I'm thinking of this one TikTok I saw, and I don't know whose car it was, but they were like literally like coming out of this corner they went wide and they were like trying to go, and a Red Bull comes and like smack, and in the back you just see like an Aston Martin trying to like back out of like where they went wide, and that singular shot like sends me into orbit. Because like what is going on in the pinnacle of motorsport?
That like someone asked me what Formula 1 is, send them that clip. I'm like, this is it. That's what I
send them Australia. Send them Australia 2023.
Stopping every 2 seconds. This is driving. Okay, Kevin would go off turn 1, like go off king. He went off turn 1.
George got a 5-second penalty.
Yeah.
For an unsafe release.
Yeah.
And he literally was like talking to like Mercedes like, can I like swap positions with Lewis so I can like keep my position after the penalty and like all this stuff, whatever, blah blah. Like, focus on your job. Focus on making that gap between you and Charles bigger so you can keep your position. And instead of asking for the easy way out of let's get us to swap.
I'm like, can we trade places, please? Can I
Like,
cut you in line? I'm like, sir.
That could have been you if you didn't make a mistake. But that's not you, because you made a mistake.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, I'm not a George hater, but sometimes I think what we need to like clarify is that we love all the drivers. We like all the drivers. But sometimes
they've all been my iPhone wallpaper at one point.
Sometimes you guys be saying some stupid stuff. And I'm just like, okay, let's get you in check here.
Let's get you in Checo here.
Oh my gosh. Allicea, are you like a part-time comedian? Are you a full-time comedian like Yuki Tsunoda?
What can I say?
When he was like, are you trying to crash me or what? Do you remember that in the race? They were like something about, I think his brakes were like really bad and like he kept complaining about how much it sucked. And they were like trying to give him some sort of advice. And Yuki was like, are you guys trying to crash me or what?
I hear some voice in my head saying it. It's so funny.
Yuki is so just, I want to say unbothered, but that's not the word. He's just fucking hilarious.
He's just hilarious.
So funny.
How can you not like Yuki?
He's just 5'2" with some attitude.
Lay. I have down here that Mr. Hulkenberg was given a 10-second penalty for not serving his first one correctly. Yeah. That happened.
Gotta love when that happens. It's giving that one race with Esteban where it was just like, you get a penalty and then you get another penalty and then you get another penalty.
And then Pierre was shown the black and white flags for exceeding the track limits.
I actually don't remember, or was it for that or was it for speeding in the pit lane?
Was it that?
I actually have no clue because
I almost knocked over my mac and cheese. It's okay, everybody. The mac and cheese is okay. Let's see.
You might be right. It might have been track limits, but again, black and white fight. Oh, blah, I can't speak. Oh my gosh.
You're Googling, everybody.
Black and white flag is not that big of an issue, TBH, because it literally, I'm pretty sure it's just a warning. So,
after your 3 lives, you receive a black and white flag on your 4th abuse of track limits. Oh, you got 3 chances to go outside the track.
Oh, good to know. I didn't know that.
We learned something new today, everybody.
Speaking of Pierre, a whole bunch of his penalty points expired this month.
Woo!
So we are no longer under the looming darkness of a race ban. So that is some good news for us Gasly fans.
I think we've been talking about this since
last year.
Dawn of Nitty Gritty. Since the Nitty Gritty.
Since the I was trying to think of a word that could be like the Big Bang Theory, but like the Nitty Gritty version, but I can't think of anything.
The big knit. That's the big grid.
The big grit.
The big grit. The grit.
Since the grid. Since the dawn of the grid. Since the dawn of the gritty.
Okay, everybody.
I think we're like on something today.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck are we on?
Allicea,
what is this episode?
Allicea, I hope you know I'm really done with you and this partnership is over. I'm joking.
Oh my god, I got so scared.
I'm literally joking.
I thought you were being serious.
I like can't decide if I should edit all this out or keep it in. Like, do you guys love the chaos or like hate the chaos? Like, I can't decide. Okay, back on
to
track.
The race.
Oh my gosh.
Track.
That's good. Let's get back on track.
The last thing I have written down is that Yuki had a problem with his brakes. And then I kind of stopped taking notes at that point in the race.
I think that's kind of like towards the end of the race. Both McLarens ended up overtaking Yuki because Yuki went wide after having issues with his brakes. And the McLarens went past him and he dropped down to P13, which is the lowest he's ever finished in a race this year.
And
As you know, Yuki's a P11 king.
Mr. Consistent George is not Mr. Consistency. It is Yuki with that P11.
Yuki Tsunoda wins the new Mr. Consistency trophy. We need to put a note in the description that clarifies that we're not sponsored by BetterHelp.
But we should tag them so they watch it.
I think we need to make a crack post about this on our Instagram. Like, kind of like out of context. Like, you would never know what we're talking about unless you watch this episode. Like, what does BetterHelp have to do with us?
Yeah.
Well, it actually has a lot to do with us.
It does.
Because we're mentally ill.
We should get BetterHelp, and then because we don't know French, we can get Duolingo to sponsor us.
Oh my gosh.
Duolingo bird, comment down below.
Je ne parle pas le français.
Je ne parle pas le français. Mon couleur favorite est verte. Et Aston Martin et Duolingo est verte.
Moi aussi, j'aime la verte.
Verte. Guys, I did French immersion my entire life.
I took French for 7 years.
See?
I can't speak anything.
I was a bilingual rep for the bank for a few months, and look at me now.
You know what? That's like, you know what I've noticed? When someone speaks French, I fully know what they're saying sometimes. But like, I cannot speak.
When I want to sound French, I can put on a pretty good fake accent, but then when I don't actually want to sound French, I don't care.
I just can't like speak in the back of my throat like that.
You have to
like,
think of, like, oh, oui, oui.
But here's the issue. English is spoken in the front of your mouth.
Yeah.
Punjabi is spoken in the front of your mouth. Hindi is spoken in the front of your mouth. French is spoken like back here. And I can't do it. I can't do it because I'm like...
She can only do the front of mouth languages, guys.
Yeah.
She's trilingual.
हमको हिंदी भी आती है, मैं पंजाबी भी बोल लेती हूँ, and I speak English. So
Smash. Why is that kind of hot? Why is that kind of turn me on a little bit? Jesus, what is happening here? Let's go back to the race.
Okay. Let's go back to the race because what is going on?
What is going on?
I need to be actually sedated after this episode's over. By the end of the race, Checo had pitted like 5 times.
Yeah, everyone was in the pits a lot, and I was like, y'all need some deodorant.
They said, I'm finna be in the pit.
Like, no, like, I finna be in the pit. Like,
talking about?
Oh, yeah,
I'm finna be in the pit.
I'm finna be in the pit.
In terms of race results,
it truly warmed my heart to see Esty Bestie slay, and to see him post, and to see the edits, and to just see him excited, and to see the garage excited, to see the engineers excited, and I'm like, it warmed my heart. It truly did. And I was like, I love to see it. I'm proud of you, Esty Bestie. You slayed.
That's what he said. I know Michaela like ascended after he said that. Because I think ascended. Fun fact, before the Monaco Grand Prix, he did this like Ask Ocon segment on TikTok where he like responded to comments, and like someone like asked him about how he feels about being called Esty Bestie, and he was like, oh, like I don't know like who came up with it, but like I like love it and I really like it, and he wanted to like recognize who came up with it, and everyone told him it was Michaela. So Michaela and him had a little comment interaction about it, and then he brought it up at the race. He was like Esty Bestie on the podium. So basically, Michaela's our queen.
Yeah. Pray to her every night, mother.
Michaela is mother, and Michaela is the leader of us F1 fangirls. Yes. And I bow down to her.
Yeah.
So
I do this for her. I take my orders from the highest. You know?
She is HBIC.
Literally.
In terms of race results, that podium was crazy. Like,
it was. Max,
Alonso, Ocon. Fun facts again. Alonso is the oldest person to podium in Monaco in like history.
What an interesting title.
And
the oldest man to be on the podium in Monaco.
That's kind of crazy. Like, imagine being that far into your career and podiuming in Monaco.
He slays. He said he's like aging like fine wine, aging like good cheese. He's keeping it going.
And Ocon was the first French man on the Monaco podium since 1996.
Jesus, that's what, 27 years ago.
That is when Ocon was born. Ocon was born in 1996. He is the first French man on the Monaco podium since he was born.
He was birthed for this podium.
Literally, he was birthed to be on the Monaco podium in 2023.
Oh, that is so good.
It's so
Good
that
job,
is so
Esty.
satisfying. That is so
Yeah,
satisfying.
I'm so happy for him.
Anyways, I actually all I have to say is honestly, I'm happy with this podium. If it wasn't gonna
Me
be
too.
Charles, it was gonna be them. Obviously, it was gonna be Max because like literally what?
King.
But the Mercedes were in P4 and P5. The Mercedes were ahead of Ferrari.
That's what's crazy.
And that's on. Oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about this. Mercedes' new car.
Oh my God, yeah.
Upgrades. Mercedes literally had Monaco, like Imola upgrades. It ended up being Monaco upgrades because Imola was canceled.
Yeah.
And literally, like they have fully side pods now. Love that. And speaking of the car, like make of the cars, Monaco marshals literally said exposed the shade room, like let me expose every secret, gossip girl, I'm them. How far they took those cars up on that crane and released the entire bottom of the floors. Literally, I know that Adrian Newey was pissed when they lifted that Red Bull that high up in the air and exposed the entire floor. So
the memes that came out of those crane shots though were kind of funny. But
imagine, yeah, like literally imagine being like in your apartment and you look and it's literally like
a vehicle,
a Red Bull,
like vehicle.
And
Max
a little
Verstappen in the car.
waving. I'm sorry, a little F1 car outside your window, like millions of dollars just floating outside your window.
Michaela literally ascending after being called Esty Bestie. After Esty Bestie referred to her, like her ascending up into the sky.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Oh my gosh. I think that's literally all I have to say about this race.
Are you ready for the hot takes?
Am I ready for the hot takes? I feel like my hot take isn't that hot, but I'm ready because it's kind of controversial, I feel, to some people.
Mine isn't hot. Mine is more just like personal growth and acceptance for me. But like my hot take is that I'm like overall really enjoying the season. I'm enjoying the season a lot, although I have become numb to the horsey heartbreak that is Ferrari.
The horsey heartbreak?
That's what I'm gonna start calling it.
Help?
The horsey heartbreak.
What did you just say?
Because their logo was a horse.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So it's horsey heartbreak.
I mean, like, it makes sense, but I just cannot believe you came up with that. I
coined horsey heartbreak. But because I've become numb to the horsey heartbreak and I kind of go into every race expecting heartbreak from Ferrari, it's fine. So like I'm not upset anymore. I'm over it. I'm really enjoying the season. I'm really enjoying the competition this season. I think first it really started off with like Alonso switching up the podium, and then we have Esteban, that P3. Like I'm really enjoying, like I think because we've gone through like so many years of like the same domination from the same 2-3 drivers, the same 2-3 teams, and like this season we're seeing a lot of shifts. We're seeing a lot of changes, and I feel like I'm truly watching a competition. I feel like I'm truly watching a race. I'm watching a sport because there's actually like some fight going on, and I'm really like, although the horse breaks my heart, I'm still enjoying the season. And that's my hot take. Like I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying the watch.
I agree with you. I agree because I think we kind of have had to accept that like it's going to be Red Bull domination. But just because it's Red Bull domination does not mean we can't have fun.
Yeah.
I think at this point it's just becoming like a competition for P2. And you know what? That just has to be something we have to get excited for.
Yeah.
Because not unfortunately, good for them. Red Bull is going to dominate. But
Max King. I enjoy your monarchy.
Yeah, I actually
like if you want to be on the back of my coin, I'll put your face on the back of my coin gladly. Let me know.
Oh my gosh, F1 currency, like help, please.
F1 currency, Max. I'm gonna start making that.
I actually kind of loved Monaco. I'm not gonna lie. I liked how much they covered the back of the grid. Like a lot of the overtakes happen in the back of the grid, and that's where they happened this race. And I like that they cover that because I feel like I never really know what's going on back there. And I'm happy that I knew what was going on back there.
Yeah.
My hot take is full of hatred.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, it's like such a complete opposite of yours. Yours is so sweet. Like, I am really enjoying the season, no matter what, blah, blah, blah. Like, so sweet, so cute. I love this sport. You better
I
sleep.
hate this sport.
You better sleep with one eye fucking open, Zavi. Okay, this isn't actually a threat. I don't want to get called to the police station. This isn't a threat. But my hot take is that I don't think Charles can win a championship with Zavi as his engineer. Like, I don't think it's possible.
Me looking for the lie.
I don't think that's possible because I feel like Zavi like literally sabotages Charles so much. And if Charles does win a championship with Zavi as engineer, Charles is a fucking god. All I can think of right now, right when I think of Zavi, is this one, I think it was in the Monaco Grand Prix, was literally Zavi telling Charles who's behind him and how far. And he starts listing it based on like interval time versus like gap to leader.
Oh, because I was like, what?
So interval time, a fun fact, if you guys didn't know this, is like, just for the viewers, when it says interval at the top of like the times during a race, it's telling you the gap between each person. Like interval, if it says 2 seconds to P1, P2 is 2 seconds from P1, and then for P3 it says 3 seconds, that means P3 is 3 seconds from P2. If it says leader, then it's telling you the gap of each person to the leader. Just if you didn't know that. And he's literally telling Charles, like, okay, so this person's behind you by this many seconds, and this person's behind that person by this many seconds. And literally, Charles is having to sit there and like do the mental math of how far each person is from him.
Enter that meme where it's like all the numbers and that lady's face, like,
I actually thought he was gonna list like every single person because he just kept going. He named like 6 drivers and he kept going. I was like, do you think Charles really needs to know that?
Yeah.
I like don't understand. Anyways, I am full of hatred for Zavi.
Horsey heartbreak.
I am a human being second and a Zavi hater first.
Wait, where do you put Lance Defender in there?
That's like beyond the realms of human beings. That's like actually like the 6th dimension. I was put on this earth to be a Lance Defender. I think one day I'm gonna regret my words, but it's fine.
Lance,
please don't.
Lance, don't get anything exposed or do anything that is gonna put us in some rough positions, okay? Because we're gonna get canceled and our career in Formula 1's gonna be done with before it even starts, okay? What an episode. What an episode.
I actually can't comprehend.
I don't even remember what I said 2 seconds ago. Frankly, I don't even remember how we started.
I have to say I agree. I feel like I blacked out this entire episode and I have no clue what's been going on. And I really hope you guys enjoy that because we've been really unhinged this episode.
I loved the conversation this episode. I think I personally have some fear sometimes that some people are going to be like, we don't talk about the sport enough and like the car aspects enough. But I think all of these other small aspects go into the sport that we have to acknowledge. They make money off of, the PR and the pop culture as well. And once again, it's a podcast for conversation about the sport.
If you want to watch F1 analysis, watch F1. That is literally what the sport is for.
Yeah.
Not coming from a place of hate. I feel like we're always so scared that we're like, this is such a deep conversation that we're having right now.
I'm like, I don't know where this came from.
We're like getting vulnerable on camera right now. I feel like we fear that we're not taken seriously enough by people, and therefore we cannot be taken seriously by like F1.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would love to work in F1. Like that's kind of where I want to be. And I'm scared that because I'm a woman and I like to talk about other things that are not all analytic about the sport, that we're not being serious enough. So we
Yeah.
love you guys' support
Very
no matter
much
what we
so.
do, because
Yeah.
you guys seem to like what we do, and we like that, and we love that, because we love that you love what we do, because we love what we do. Was that words?
That was words. Especially those of you that like send us DMs and respond
Oh
to
my
our
gosh.
stories.
It's like
Whenever I see the hate comments on TikTok or Twitter, people like, you know, being like woman coffee cup emoji or like calling us stupid or like dumb or like whatever, I'm like, obviously, yeah, that makes me a little sad. But then I see you guys responding to our stories and like giggling with us and like laughing with us and being like, so true, guys. And I'm like, thank you, because you keep me from crying sometimes, guys. I appreciate that.
you guys are the reason that hate comments don't get to us.
Yeah.
We love conversing with you guys through DMs. It's like we're a little bestie. Like I feel like we should have a bestie group chat. I don't know, like a nitty gritty Discord. Oh my gosh, it's actually a really good idea. Nitty gritty Discord. Comment down below if you guys want a nitty gritty Discord. I feel
Oh my
like
god,
that
that'd
would
be
kind
so
of
fun.
fun. But
well, we got
yeah.
super vulnerable at the end of that. Jesus
It's
Christ.
like a little too real for me.
I like how it got really chaotic and then like really like serious.
Might have to cut that out because
yeah, my eyes welled up a little bit at some point. And I was like, Jesus Christ. It's a rough 2 weeks, guys.
It's been
something. Oh my god. Do you remember when they posted that picture of Lewis and Sebastian?
Forget. Sebastian was in the paddock this weekend. Oh my gosh, this is big news. I can't believe we didn't talk about this. Sebastian,
I think it's because I like cried so much when I saw that. Because I miss Sebastian Vettel with my whole soul. Like I love that man. He
was literally in the paddock, so chaotic, and he was in there, and then he was like gone. Like all the pictures I saw of him are like blurry. Like he was like he ran to the paddock and then he was gone. He simply was like woof, poosh, not woof.
As speedy as he was on the track.
Oh my gosh, I literally can't speak today.
We've been like recording for like 2 hours.
I'm so sorry, guys. Words coming out of our mouths don't make sense.
We're so eloquently spoken.
Yeah, eloquently spoken.
I can't even spell eloquently, but yeah, sub
ELOQUE.
I wouldn't even be able to tell you
NTLY.
Sure. Yeah.
Eloquently. I'm gonna say that's right. And I am a spelling bee over here. I'm not. Sorry. This is like so off topic. I feel like this entire episode is like Monaco Grand Prix
plus other stuff.
On crack.
On crack.
I feel like that should be the episode title.
Insert image of crack.
But
it's my crack. It's my crack.
Oh my god, do you guys actually enjoy watching this? I cannot believe you guys like actually want to watch this.
I feel like I get very overwhelmed if I watch your podcast episodes. My brain will just explode.
I actually I'm thinking about how you guys stand us, and you guys are like actually God's strongest warriors for standing us. Like how do you like listen to us and be like not want to like rip your ears out? Anyways, not to turn like into like really like insecure right now.
Yeah, we're getting really vulnerable.
I think we need to like end this episode before we start crying on camera.
Okay, everybody. So next weekend, Spanish Grand Prix, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Yes. Sorry.
And then after that, Montreal Grand Prix.
Which we're not invited to yet. If anyone wants to invite us, because we can't afford any tickets.
Please. How am I gonna go to Monaco if I can't even go to Montreal? That's the thing. Okay.
I don't know.
But we'll see you then. Stay tuned. What else should I tell you guys?
How to wrap an episode? Gone.
This is like, how many episodes have we had? 10?
Literally, I think this is our 11th episode.
Well, 11th. Thank you so much for what I spot so much just now.
Okay, thank you so much for watching, listening, streaming, however you like to listen to us speak. We will see you at the Spanish, not there, we're not going to be there. We will see you next week for the Spanish Grand Prix when we get in to the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty. Bye, everybody.
Bye.